Welcome back. You're here with Crystal from Crystal Clear Coaching. And I got an exciting delivery today. It's my new business cards. That's very exciting because I've been basically planning these for 3-4 years. Probably first started making this particular Crystal Clear Coaching Canva document 4 years ago. And then I ended up making my form worker coaching ones first, and I've had them and been handing them out. And I thought I should print some of these too, but I have just been between living paycheck to paycheck, and then just tweaking it too much and being perfectionist, and then just overthinking it, and then also putting it down for a long time, and then anyway, it is dire that it's taking me this long, but I finally, and even just recently, even though I pretty much had the bones of it pretty together, I still spent probably another day and a half actually, maybe not a day and a half, because there was a few hours one day and then a few hours another day, but that's a lot to spend on a business card that should just have contact information. Anyway, but I'm really happy with how it's come out, so yay. I just meet so many people out and about being new to a country as well. I just want to be able to be like, hey, nice to meet you, here's my card. And it makes sense for the general public. Whereas when I hand my film worker Freedom one, it's very rare that it's a film worker, so it makes no sense and it confuses and I have to explain myself. And what I've done on the back is really cool, is I've got, I have, what do you want to create in your life and for the world? And then I've got a photo of myself in my colours on the beach, because I also did a little photo shoot of me at the beach, and I made, I put a whole bunch of tiny crystals in the sand, and I had a mirror that I brought with me that then reflected the waves. Anyway, you can't really see that in this tiny little, but anyway, I think it is in my imagery, maybe on YouTube, so you can probably see the bigger spectrum of that photo somewhere. But that was me having fun on the beach until it got dark very quickly, and then I had to spend an hour sifting tiny crystals out of the sand in the dark, and my phone died, so I had no torch until I realised that I had a random pen that has a torch on it, and so that kind of saw me through just enough to... It was a wild ride, I tell you, but so happy to have those photos and to use them on here. So that's very exciting, and I want to create more things, whether digital or printed, just to get the word out there more. I have been sleeping on this for too long. So anyway, that's my exciting update. Also, I made an awesome QR code on the back, but it's going to take you to my link tree, but it says scan to book, and I haven't actually updated my calendar system or decided if I want to use a different one. So we'll get there, but hey, it's set up, and if nothing else, they can DM me for a free consult, because you gotta talk a little bit about this stuff to get a vibe for if somebody's willing to do the work, because I cannot coach anyone that is not coachable, but also just to see that we're aligned with what they're wanting and that I can provide it, but also for them to understand what they might get out of it. So if anyone ever wants a free consult session, it's just like a 20-30 minute call, where we just feel into what a coaching package might look like for you, how that might help you shift things in your life, what it might help you uncover or unblock, so that you can actually move towards what you desire, what you really want in life. So very cool. yeah, otherwise today I actually had a session with a client today, and we had all these ideas of what we were going to do, and I've got so many wonderful tools to use, and it just turned out that we just needed to actually feel into what's going on for them right now, and that was beautiful. And yeah, I was trying to force the change work process into it, and then I just thought, you know what? Well, also we didn't have the most time, so we ended up just feeling into it. And when I started trying to do the process, I just said, hey, this doesn't feel aligned right now, so it's good to like flow with things sometimes. But yeah, no, it was good to actually do a session, and yeah, get my business cards on the same day, and then I've got yeah, work for my job the next few days. So yeah, and then yeah, I just chilled tonight, and I finished rewatching Bridgerton season 4 again. I watched it the first time, and then it's the only rewatch I've done. But it's the second watch. Only rewatch. Wow. Anyway, it's wonderful. But gosh, just watching all just rom-com vibe things, TV shows, romances, also just stories in general. Like watching fictional stories, we actually see what's going on for each character. It can get so frustrating because you're like, this person clearly, completely and utterly loves and wants this person, and this person completely, clearly and utterly wants this person, but there's a whole bunch of social dynamics and politics involved that just get in the way, man. So sad. But it's like, also, if this person knew that this person was that person that they were looking for ages, but it was like secret because there was a masquerade. I mean, I'm getting specific on plot points in Bridgerton now. You know, that like they would have been together so much sooner. But hey, guess it's all divine timing. But yeah, like even like the people closest to you in your life, you might think you've updated them and they pretty much know what's going on in your life, or you might think your friends have updated you, and you know the lay of the land. But no matter what, each of our perspective is very unique, and sometimes you've got a gut feeling that someone is still good and worthy of being in your life, and on the surface, dynamics wise, it just seems odd that you would choose to keep this person in your life. It seems like, oh, maybe that's a toxic trait, or but you know what? No one else has lived that experience. No one else has your perspective of why you feel that way. And sometimes the outside perspective is actually helpful and would do you well to listen to. So it's taking it with a grain of salt, because sometimes we just don't listen to ourselves, and our gut's telling us like either this person is good for us or this person is bad for us, and like we need to set boundaries or cut them out, or whatever it is. But someone that's close to you that's heard kind of the updates and the stories and probably the dramatic moments, not the nice moments in between, they might feel that, and coming from a loving place, we feel like you're doing yourself a disservice, that you're going to hurt yourself more, putting yourself through something. And that might be true, but also you might know that at your core you have to put yourself through this thing in order to move on from it. And that's your self-sovereign choice to do for yourself. Or, you know, it's just best for what happens. Or, you know, I mean, so in Bridgerton, the two main characters, one's a maid and one's a gentleman. And in society, in Bridgerton, that's a big no-no, but they fall in love. But she was illegitimate, and you know, he's from a noble family, and you know, cannot marry below his station according to society. And anyway, and he was still willing to marry her and leave society and all this, but she was like, no, I have to do what's right for both of us, and just leave, because her mother had been a maid too, and that's what made her illegitimate. So she had this big story about that. And you know, if it weren't for another series of events, they wouldn't have been together, man. And they had a beautiful love, man. So anyway, don't know if I'm at my point. I meant to make a video in the daylight, and I almost did earlier, and then it got dark, and then I needed food, and then by the time I got food and then watched Bridgerton, suddenly, and then, I don't know, faffed about doing other things, suddenly it's 12:30 at night, and I'm trying to make sure that I come and say hi to my YouTube. So hopefully I'm connected all my points there, but it's probably time for me to sleep. Yeah, I want to share tomorrow about some one of the change work processes I'm trained in, which is family systems, because I was delving into it today for a client, and yeah, I think it's a really fascinating subject to expand on. So yeah, I told them that I might make a YouTube video because they were wanting more information on it, and it's not a straightforward, easy thing to necessarily explain, but I'm gonna try. Sometimes it's like most of my coaching, it's better just to experience it, rather than me trying to explain it within reason. But this is the perfect platform here to give you more of an idea. So, but it's a bit more long form, so I can share a little bit more than I can on Instagram, etc. And that's great. It's a wonderful thing. But yeah, I don't know. Suddenly I just have come into my mind, going back to my earlier points. In newspapers, they used to have this section called Misconnections, where they'd say, the gentleman on the train at 6:15 on Thursday night in downtown LA. We caught eyes. And you had a silly little purple scarf on, and I liked it, and maybe we chatted a little bit, but then we got separated and I never saw you again. But if you're reading this ad, please reach out. Yeah, misconnections. I think it's on the internet too. Misconnections are on the internet, but there was a romance about it being in the newspaper. Anyway, so sometimes the person that was in question, that was being described, would answer the ad, and there'd be a fun story there. Don't know if it would be a long-term fun story, but it's a fun story. And yeah, the reason I bring that up is just there's so many moments in life where you could easily have a missed connection, just constantly. that time you didn't speak up, but you were about to bring up a certain subject or say a certain thing to a certain person, and you just didn't quite get in there because somebody else was talking, you didn't want to interrupt, especially like if you think about networking, I've done a lot of networking to work in film and TV, and you got to get in there, and sometimes it's awkward as hell because you're standing there awkward, how do I interrupt, how do I get in there? They're clearly having a nice conversation, they've worked together before and they're all chummy, and I'm just this weird person they don't know that's trying to shove my face in there. And I always try and think of the perspective of what could I have to offer them, or what do they need right now? What do they want, and sometimes you can answer that question and kind of bring a bit more of a dynamic conversation to the forum. But sometimes you just got to stand there awkwardly and get an email when you can. So, fun times. Miss connections. You could so easily miss lots of networking connections. There's just random people. Like when I went to Marianne Williamson the other week, I ended up just talking to random people in the bathroom and just outside in the line, and I was just lingering because I didn't have anywhere to rush off to, and so there was this lady wearing a beautiful red dress in the bathrooms, and I just complimented her. It struck up a conversation. Then we got chatting for like half an hour, and we swapped details. And then another lady in the line, we got talking. I didn't even realise Marianne had come out to sign books, and it was the end of the line, and I didn't even have to wait that long. So I got a book and got it signed, and that was really cool. Got to meet her, and if I hadn't just kind of lingered and been open to connection, to first talk to the lady and compliment her on her beautiful dress, and then got chatting to her, and then just landed that I was around, I wouldn't have met Marianne. Like if I just got up and left at the end of the talk, So sometimes you just got to actually linger and be open. But yeah, very excited about this. Yeah. What do you want to create in your life and for the world? It was actually Marianne that inspired me to add that "and for the world" part, because she suggested that in the morning we often get up and we're just thinking about ourselves, or we open social media and get pulled into all the drama. But what if we just woke up and set good intentions for ourselves, yes, but also people around us and just for the world? First and foremost, sending that good energy out to the world. If we all did that, I know that would make a huge difference. Obviously, we need some actual actions taken too, don't get me wrong. It's not all thoughts and prayers, but there is a place, there is a beauty to that. If you're setting up your day with the intention of helping others, that's going to start off your mindset. So I love that. Anyway, so that's why I added what do you want to create in your life, and the in I can't say this word, parentheses, and for the world. Little space, you can write it on the card. Yeah, very good. Anyway, had a lot of fun creating these cards, clearly. So, embracing it. And we will leave it there for tonight. Hopefully I made sense. Okay, much love. See you tomorrow.